Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half.
Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today. Hello, we're here for More Happier, a podcast where we get more happier. Every other Saturday, join us for some weekend listening where we talk about happiness with a bit of a looser vibe. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hi, Gretch.
Today, we'll talk about a YouTube channel that has caught my attention and a Netflix show that Elizabeth cannot stop talking and thinking about. But first, something making us more happier. Elizabeth, what is making you more happier?
Gretch, us beating up in Kansas City is making me more
Yay.
happier. You and I have a trip planned to KC to see our parents. It's just going to be the four of us,
Yes.
which is fun.
Yes.
As much as we love having the kids and the husbands, it's fun to have just the four
Yes.
of us together.
Yeah, I'm doing some speaking, and so we turned it into sort of like an opportunity for us all to meet. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it's funny because, I have seen you speak many times. I don't need to go see you speak, but I always use it as like a reason to go to Kansas City when you're speaking in Kansas City. And it's fun because I like seeing the different places and meeting people, and it's always just an interesting experience.
As we often say, something that can happen at any time often happens at no time. So sometimes you just need an anchor event. You just need something that's like this time versus another time. And then the question is, oh, well, can I do that date rather than let's pick a date? And sometimes that's just so overwhelming. Yeah, that's going to be really, really fun.
Yes. So we definitely have to do our usual go to Halls, go to Traps,
Go to Winstead, go to Loose Park, go to Coffin Garden.
Q39.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many things. We're going to be busy the whole time.
Yes, we will be. How about you, Gretch? What's making you more happier?
Yes, I love getting organized. I love clearing clutter to a degree that people might find surprising. And in the spirit of getting organized, now on my website, if you go into the Explore tab at the top, you will see that under Getting Started, you can find organization, because I wanted to pull together and organize a lot of the most useful things that I've put together about organization. So there are answers to frequently asked questions. There are a series of bingo cards if you want to do some quick gamified clutter clearing. There's my outer order manifesto, which I had so much fun creating. So if you go to happiercast.com/organization, you can find it. It's funny because the metaphor that I use for like all the tasks that I know I need to get to eventually, but maybe can't get to right away, is the messy closet. And this is something that has been in the messy closet for a long time. And now, very appropriately for the subject of organization, it's there. So if people are getting psyched up for spring cleaning, there's a lot of good resources there. And I had a really fun time pulling them together and organizing them.
Well, Gretch, I have to say, as you're talking, one thing I was thinking is I admire you so much because you do follow through on these things. You actually say, I'm going to make my website more organized for people, and then you follow through. So I'm good at thinking of things to do. I'm less good at the follow through. So I admire you because you do clean your messy closet.
Oh, well, thank you.
Gold star.
Thank you. I will take a gold star. You know how much I love them.
I know you will. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk about some quality screen time. But first, this break. We all know that our life and our health can be improved when we eat nourishing, healthy meals, but it can be hard to maintain. With Sunbasket meal kits, it's easy because they take care of the details. Sunbasket offers 18 chef-crafted, dietitian-approved recipes each week with options like Mediterranean, carb-conscious, vegetarian, and keto-friendly. The recipes are quick and easy to follow, and you can enjoy a meal full of organic produce and clean ingredients that is ready in 30 minutes or less. Gretchen, we made the Marrakesh merguez patties. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but I loved eating it with warm carrot salad. And it was so good. And it got Jack eating something that he doesn't usually eat.
Go to sunbasket.com/happier today to get $45 off your first order. That's sunbasket.com/happier to get $45 off your first box plus free shipping.
Okay, Gretch, we're back with quality screen time. And you told me about a YouTube show that you're really into. Now you've got me into it. The girls are into it. Talk about it.
Yeah, so I heard about this YouTube channel from my daughter, Eleanor, my younger daughter. It's called Financial Audit. And she was like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. And like people tell you to watch things and you're like, yeah. Finally, I did watch it. And then I just couldn't stop watching it. So the host of the show is a guy named Caleb Hammer. And what he does, a couple interviews each week, he invites somebody on, and they're often in their 20s. They're often in Texas because he's in Texas. But there's a mix. Sometimes it's real grown-ups or people from all over the country. And they're in all varieties of situations. And what is so fascinating about it is he gets into the details. Like he will flash on the screen all the charges on their credit card. And they talk about every single thing that they're in debt for and how much have they saved and what's in their retirement account, if anything. And they explain like what happened. And so on the one hand, it's this fascinating window. It's like each one is like a little play because you get such an insight into people's lives and just like the variety and richness of people's experience. And also, over and over, he's talking about financial decisions. And Eleanor said to me, I feel like I've learned so much. I'm like, and so she feels like it was really valuable and that she was really learning from it.
So you got me watching it. And I think what's great is he has such a big personality, but he's very personable.
Yeah.
So even though he's calling people out for a lot of their decisions,
he's tough.
He does it in a way that's very likable, though, and really kind of reaching out to them as human beings. So I feel like people take it from him.
Yeah.
So the interaction is very entertaining between him and whoever he's interviewing. And then, it's just very practical. It's like, how much should you be spending on a car if you're making X amount?
Yes.
And how much should you be spending on your rent? And if you are spending this much on your rent, how much should you be saving?
Right.
And so it's just very, I think you said nitty gritty, practical, which I so much feel that is something kids should be taught. We learn nothing about economics, budgets, any of that growing up. It was not taught in school.
Right.
I think it should be because it's such an important subject. And he really kind of breaks down these little things, but in a way that's bite-sized.
Yes.
It's not a big commitment to sit down and watch some of this.
Right.
Even though you may end up binging a bunch of it.
Well, and what I love is if you look in the comments, there are all these people saying, Caleb, thank you so much. Thanks to you, I paid up my credit card debt. Or, I stopped eating out so much because, I have your voice in my head saying, why are you doing that? I mean, one of the things he's a little bit, if you watch it, you're sort of like, oh, maybe he should have made this point, or why didn't he explain this better? He does it his way, and that's part of the charm of it. And also, it's like he's done so many of these, like, that everybody who's come on the show has the opportunity to know exactly what they're getting in for. So it is going to be kind of excruciating, but that's what people are coming there for. I think they want him to help them understand, like, where are they? A lot of times people are just like, they just don't even really know, and he helps sort them through. And then I think there's a lot of resources that they provide later. He's been doing it for about a year and a half. And one of the things that is nice is he always is saying to people, I really respect that you're coming on the show. This is really, really hard. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are going to benefit from this conversation and like what they learn from what we're talking about. And so there is that, there is this because on the one hand, he's like, oh my gosh, how are you in this mess? And then he got himself out of that kind of mess too. So he's always like, I get it. I was there myself and I want to help you get to the other side. So it's just so fascinating, right? Because it's so particular.
Yes. So Financial Audit on YouTube.
Yes.
Quality screen time.
Quality screen time.
Okay, Gretch, what is our spotlight on a tool this week?
Well, you know how one of the items on my 24 for 24 list is to learn and experiment with AI. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Because that is a little bit vague. And as I know, it's better to have something that's very concrete and you know exactly what you expect from yourself. So as part of that effort, I have just added a new tool to my website. Speaking of my website, okay, It's very cool. It is an AI feature. It's called the Happiness Helpline. And so this is an AI helpline that it has been trained on my books, my articles, and on the podcast transcripts. So when it answers questions, it's just drawing from my stuff. And, it answers in kind of an AI way. This is just a machine, so it can make mistakes, and it's not going to channel my exact voice. But it could be useful for people who are, looking something up or trying to figure out, what did Gretchen say about XYZ? I think people will have fun playing with it and seeing if it could be useful. If you go to my website and you go near the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see it there. There's like those little stars that are the AI symbol. And, we talk about the atmosphere of growth, and this has given me the atmosphere of growth because I'm like, I did not know how these things work, and I've been working with this terrific team, my team, their team, and it's interesting.
So what is it called? Like if you go to your website, you click on what?
You go to near the bottom right side, you'll see this sort of button, and it has a magnifying glass and then the H, like my branded H. And if you click on that, it'll say Happiness Helpline.
Oh, wow.
And then you can ask a question.
So you would say, like, for instance, what are the loopholes? What are habit loopholes? Yeah. And it'll list
exactly
these 10 loopholes.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, or you could say, what are some hacks for traveling or something like that? And then it would give answers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, everybody should know
that's great.
AI is a machine. It is not a person,
yes.
in a call center. And so you always have to use your judgment. But it's a great start. And a lot of times if you just sort of want some things to get you started thinking or throw out ideas. So I'm really interested to hear if people find it useful or if they have problems with it. It's very new. It's a very new tool. And of course, we're all just learning about AI. So I hope people will let me know if they do it.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out. Gretch, funny AI story. I was actually using AI to do research for the book Sarah and I are writing. And I was researching like different poisons and different ways of killing someone, and AI did not appreciate that.
Suspicious.
Told me this was not something they were going to answer, and I should potentially seek help, and there was no help for me there.
Okay.
So they do not want to answer any sort of questions about murder. Okay. So that's probably a good thing.
And the Happiness Helpline is definitely not going to have resources that are going to help you. But if you want hacks for packing, you could probably come up with some ideas.
Okay, cool.
So that's been super fun.
All right, Gretch, coming up, there is something I've been meaning to tell you about the greatest night in pop. But first, this break. My closet was chaotic, crammed with a bunch of clothes, but nothing to wear. The game changer, upgrading to high-quality, affordable pieces from Quince. Now I have a wardrobe of luxury essentials that transition from one occasion to the next, and I stayed on budget. Gretchen, I got from Quince these super soft fleece wide leg pants in black, and I actually look put together when I go to pick up Jack from school.
They have 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters for $50, organic cotton sweaters, washable silk tops, and timeless 14-karat gold jewelry. And the best part is that all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen.
This year, I am focused on saving and investing, but I still want to do things like travel. NerdWallet lets you compare top travel credit cards side by side to maximize your spending, some even offering 10 times points on your spending, which means you could end up with a free flight or maybe a better hotel room.
So what could future you do with smarter financial decisions? Compare and find smarter credit cards, savings accounts, and more today at nerdwallet.com. NerdWallet, finance smarter. Reminder, credit is subject to lender approval and terms apply. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire because it gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. And, Elizabeth, I now work with a team, and hiring the right people is so important. It's maybe the most important thing. And LinkedIn makes the process of identifying and hiring people easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. It's so easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours.
And LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Gretchen. That's linkedin.com/Gretchen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, Elizabeth, there's something you've been meaning to tell me. What is it?
Yeah. So, Gretchen, Chuck, our executive producer, told us both to watch a documentary on Netflix called The Greatest Night in Pop.
Yeah.
And here's the official description. On a January night in 1985, music's biggest stars gathered to record We Are the World. This documentary goes behind the scenes of the historic event. So this was one night after the American Music Awards where every big star almost in the United States came together to record We Are the World. I mean, it was everyone from Lionel Richie, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Cyndi Lauper, Bob Dylan, Bette Midler, so many names. They had one night to do this, and it was all being run by Quincy Jones.
Now, here's the thing. I have not seen it yet, and I'm so eager to see it. And I want to sit down and watch it in one go. Every time you talk about it, I want to see it more. It sounds so good.
It is so good. But the thing that I've been meaning to tell you, and maybe it's better that you haven't watched it yet, because now you can go pay attention to what I'm about to say as you're watching it. What I was so struck by was Quincy Jones's leadership. I always feel like one of my kind of weaknesses is being a strong leader. Okay. And not that I'm a horrible leader. I have my strengths, but I always feel like I could be a better leader. Mm-hmm. And I think I have problems just kind of stepping into the power, of being a leader. I feel a little hesitant about it. I feel a little chagrined.
But also, can I just say, one of the things that astonished me is being a showrunner is being the head of a startup that is a multi-million-dollar budget, a bunch of new people coming together, intense time pressure. It's a big job, which
it's daunting.
It's daunting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for leadership styles and tips
Models
and tricks and all of that. And I just have to say, Quincy Jones is just the ultimate leader. He's so positive. That was the real takeaway for me of how he just embodied positivity. He was so calm. He was so in command, but without being any sort of dictator. He just has such a way about him. Now, obviously, Quincy Jones is a genius. Nobody disputes
that. So he had everyone's respect.
Yes. Everybody goes in respecting him, and that helps immensely, granted. But this situation, Gretch, is so chaotic. There are so many huge egos. It's to record a whole song in one night with this many people is a feat beyond imagination, really. And the fact that he just stays calm, he doesn't lose it, is so impressive. And I want to just have Quincy Jones as my beacon for what I want to go for as a leader of positivity, calmness, and staying in control no matter what's happening around you.
So you feel like what you want to emulate, it's that calm assurance, but with enthusiasm and positivity, not somebody who's criticizing or using cutting humor.
Yes.
Right. Oh, interesting.
Because I feel like that's where, when I'm under stress, I can lose that kind of sense of fun and positivity.
I become so snappish.
Yes.
You and Sarah talked about that in Happier in Hollywood, that under time pressure, especially, you lose your courtesy, you lose your ability to listen to other people's point of view because you're just we got to go. It's my way. Go. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I really, for the next time I'm running a show, I want to just come in with, we're all want to be here.
Yes.
We're happy to be here. We're doing something exciting. We're doing something fun. And yes, there are challenges. And yes, there's budget pressure and time pressure. And we're getting rounds of notes and all of that's happening. But I want to just really try to stay positive because then people respond. I mean,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, they respond much
Yes.
better to positivity than to negativity. So this is my goal. This is in life. And I want you to, once you watch it, we can tell me what you think and if you see what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm so glad I haven't seen it yet because, I want to have a perspective. I'll be like paying attention to even kind of the small nuances of how does he speak and how does he move his gaze around and where does he stand. Here's a fun fact that you may not know. I don't even know why I know it, but his middle name is Delight.
No, really?
Yes, and there's something
Quincy Delight
Yeah, and
Jones?
there's something called nominative determinism, which is that, and this is true, that if your name suggests a profession, you are more likely to follow that profession. Like someone named Bones is more likely to become like an orthopedist or something. And so, I'm like, his name is Delight, and that's what he brings is Delight, which is
oh my gosh.
Well, it's great to have a model, Elizabeth. I feel like maybe there is a T-shirt or a mug or a one-word theme for the year or something for you to channel this, because I know you're always looking for good models to emulate in your style.
Yes, for sure. I need a motto and a mug. And Gretchen, by the way, it reminds me of our line producer on Women's Murder Club, which is
way
the
back.
first show Sarah and I ever got on the air.
Years ago.
And it was our first time, hiring people. And we hired this line producer, Ed. And when we were doing his initial interview, he said, you will find that the worse things are, the calmer I am. I will never be calmer than I am in a hail of bullets because that's my job as a line producer. So he's like, if I'm blustering and yelling, you can just bet everything's fine. But if I'm sitting there very calmly, just know it's gotten bad. And in fact, that is exactly how he was. And I think a lot of line producers are that way because they really deal with a lot of stuff going wrong on set.
Yeah.
So anyway, remember that about Ed, but also just want to bring that into my general leadership style.
This reminds me of something that I read in a memoir called Return to Earth that was by Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut.
Yes.
Like you were talking about Quincy Jones, that part of the challenge for him is they're all these huge stars who themselves are worthy of being in the center stage. And he has to herd the cats of all these people who, are used to being the center of attention and the one that everybody is doing exactly what they say. And he wrote of his time at West Point when he was his plebe year. He wrote, for one period of the stay, I was company commander, and the lesson to be learned became clear. If you wish to lead, then you begin by taking on one of the most difficult leadership roles of all. You lead your contemporaries. Leading people who are somehow subordinate to you is, by comparison, relatively easy.
Oh, true.
And so if Quincy Jones is with people who would clearly work for him, they would just do what he said. The problem here is you've got a room full of people who are like, no. People do what I say. So he has to command through just them deciding that they want to do what he says.
Yes. Anyway, I really recommend everybody watch. Thank you, Chuck, for the recommendation. The Greatest Night in Pop on Netflix.
I cannot wait.
Okay, Gretchen, what is our quotation this week?
Yes, this comes from The Perfecting of a Love by Robert Musil. All she felt was that she did not want to do anything or prevent anything, and her thoughts slowly wandered into the snow outside without a backward glance, further and further, as when one is too tired to turn back and walks on and on. I love that. So listen, are you feeling more happier?
Yes, I am feeling more happier. Thank you to Chuck. Get in touch. Gretchen's on all the social media places at Gretchen Rubin, and I'm at Liz Craft. Our email address is podcast@GretchenRubin.com. And for everything related to this episode, links, photos, and more, go to happiercast.com. Bye, Gretch.
Bye, Elizabeth. The best time to start a happiness project is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So, Elizabeth, what's getting the dogs all excited? Can you figure it out?
No idea. I mean, I went out there and there's nothing. So I have no idea why they're barking.
Just their own little hijinks.
This is the problem of recording at home.
From the Onward Project. We talk so much about how our dogs make us happier. Barnaby, Nacho, Daisy. We want to share a message from our partner, Spot Pet Insurance, about useful information for people who love their pets. Spot Pet Insurance can be your partner in navigating the unexpected. With Spot plans, you can receive up to 90% cash back on eligible vet bills, transforming unforeseen expenses into manageable moments of care for your cat or dog. Spot Pet Insurance plans extend beyond just offering coverage for accidents and illnesses. You can enhance your plan with their preventive care benefit, helping ensure that routine wellness, vaccines, and more can be covered. Head over to spotpet.com today and receive an instant quote. Visit www.spotpet.com and sign up today.
Paid ad from Spot Pet Insurance. Waiting periods, annual deductible, co-insurance, benefit limits, and exclusions may apply. For all terms, visit spotpetins.com/sample-policy. Insurance plans are underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by Spot Pet Insurance Services, LLC.